Welcome back to session 2 in our series on the spectrum of leadership styles. If you missed session 1, you can find it in the link below. For those of you who are new, I'm Jerry McDonough, founder and managing director of NextArc Leadership Solutions, an executive talent management and culture shaping advisory firm. So imagine walking into any professional interaction, a critical negotiation, a team meeting, a difficult conversation with a stakeholder, with an almost uncanny ability to understand the person across from you. Not just what they say, but why they say what they say, and how they think, and what truly drives their decisions. That's the extraordinary advantage you gain when you master NextArc's spectrum of leadership styles. It's like being handed a detailed behavioral report for every colleague and stakeholder you encounter. This isn't just about understanding your own primary and backup leadership styles, which is invaluable, of course. It's about developing the acute ability to quickly filter others by their style characteristics. You'll gain insight into why they behave as they do, when and how they might shift from their primary style to their backup style under pressure. Listen to session 1 for how this works, by the way. And most importantly, how to work most effectively with them to influence their decisions and achieve your goals. This framework provides you with a powerful lens to navigate the complexities of human interaction in the workplace, making you not just a better leader, but a more influential and strategic player in your organization. This is essential learning and practice for executive leaders. In our last session, we introduced the idea that elite leaders utilize a range of styles, like a golfer with a full bag of clubs. Today, we're going to dive into the first and arguably most aggressive style on our spectrum. It's called the dominant negative, or as we affectionately and perhaps a little cautiously call them, the commander. So as I do this, let me introduce one visual aid. That's all we'll have today, and give me a second just to reference share my screen, and here we go. So you'll recall, if you listen to session 1, and again, if you haven't, it's linked below. The dominant negative leaders core, kind of their core driving need, what really drives them as an individual, is simply power. Their demeanor is direct, conditional, that is, black or white, no shades of gray, and very task-driven. When they speak, their language is often gruff and, frankly, often profane. Their office environment might be messy, featuring artifacts of individual accomplishment and power, reflecting their focus on tangible results and authority. Their time horizon is very short-term and solely task-oriented, emphasizing immediate deliverables. And when under pressure, their backup style is, and you'll recall most leaders' backup style is one place to the left on the spectrum. And since the dominant negative, as you can see, anchors the left end of the spectrum, they become even more dominant, uncompromising, and controlling. So we say, only half jokingly, they become dominant, damn negative. So how can you work most effectively with a dominant negative leader or manager, really? You need to lead them to believe that your idea is their idea. Remember, they're all about power and control. They don't implement others' ideas. They implement their ideas. And since they are so task-obsessed, they never forget a delegated task. Make sure, if you're working with a dominant negative, you keep them completely abreast of the status of any task they assigned you. And as a reminder, when it comes to delegated tasks, since they're so kind of conditional in their thinking, their favorite word is done. Check the box. So who demonstrates this style in the real world that you may know? So first, consider Travis Kalanick, the co-founder and former CEO of Uber. You'll recall his tenure was marked by a relentless, aggressive, and uncompromising approach to business. During Uber's kind of hyper growth phase, he was known for his highly task-focused drive, pushing boundaries outwards and challenging established norms without much regard for conventional pleasantries or stakeholder sentiment. He pissed a lot of people off. His focus was singular: expand Uber at all costs, even unethical and illegal ones, demonstrating a clear dominant negative posture. I'm not suggesting that all dominant negatives practice illegal behaviors, but some do, and many practice unethical ones. Another figure that comes to mind is Jerry Jones, the longtime owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Known for his hands-on, often autocratic management style, Jones exerts immense control over the team's operations, its personnel, and even coaching decisions. His willingness to make swift, impactful decisions, often without kind of broad consultation or any consultation, and his focus on winning above all else, regardless of potential interpersonal friction, aligns strongly with the dominant negative. And in tandem here, there's Jimmy Johnson, the former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You may recall him, who unfortunately for him worked for and was fired by Jerry Jones, the dominant negative we just met, but who had a bigger business card. Jones did. What happened there is utterly predictable. Two dominant negatives cannot coexist very long, even if they're winning. Johnson, while highly successful, was also known for his intense, demanding style that pushed players to their limits and frequently challenged Jerry Jones's front office decisions. Jones fired Johnson at the peak of the Cowboys' success. So understanding the dominant negative style is crucial, not just to identify it in others, but to recognize it if any of its kind of traits unintentionally creep into your own leadership behavior. I say unintentionally because this can be a very selectively useful style, particularly when used situationally in a crisis management environment. But while it can kind of mitigate short-term risks and drive short-term results, its long-term impact on people and culture is lethal. So that's it for the dominant negative commander. Join me in our next video where we'll explore the next style on the spectrum, the dominant positive, often seen as a more polished version of the dominant negative, and perhaps the most difficult leader on the spectrum to effectively work with. You won't want to miss that one. Thank you.